So far on this journey, our favorite place has been Sri Lanka. Hemantata was amazing. That's where we visited the Udawala Park and the Baby Elephant Orphanage. And both parts of our day were amazing. This is the Baby Orphanage, and they schedule you, or they suggest you come during the feeding time, because otherwise I don't know that you're really going to see the baby elephants that much. These baby elephants know when it's time to eat. It's so interesting to watch them walk from their holding area, because I believe they all gather in one place and then slowly they make their way up this little trail to where the staff is waiting to feed them. They know how long they have. They know to wait their turn. It's very instinctual for them to do this. This happens 3 times a day, and it's just amazing to watch. We got there before it began, and we were all kind of sitting there waiting for them to come out. We could see them in the distance because there's just a mass of them. Now, it's my understanding that there are about 60 orphans at the orphanage at a time, or approximately 60. And they're there for, quite a few years. I think up to 7 years, until they mature enough to go out into the wild. And then they're brought to the Udawala Park, and that's where they live out the rest of their life. But these precious little animals, and I say precious because they each have such a different personality. We literally sat there for about a half an hour watching them. Each one was a little bit different, and it was really interesting to listen to them. Some of them have some interesting noises that they make, and I'm sure that the keepers know exactly what those noises mean. We really didn't understand some of the noises that they were making, but I think it's something about being excited and being happy and getting fed. And then after they go and get their milk, they come over to this clearing that is set up very close to where we're sitting behind a fence, kind of on these raised bleacher type seats that are cement. And we can just sit there and take videos and pictures to our heart's content. And that's pretty much what I did. I just stood there. We got there pretty early, so I was able to get a prime spot all the way at the end of the bleachers. Didn't want to kind of be in anybody's way taking pictures, so I stood up behind everybody else. But you can see them coming up the path. Some of them are extremely rambunctious. Some of them just kind of make their way up without running. And once they get to where the keepers are and they get fed, it happens so quickly. If you don't watch, they drink their milk so fast. I think they get maybe 1 or 2 scoops of milk. It goes down quickly. Oh, this guy just got his 1 scoop, and this one's gonna leave, and there's the one behind it. Now, some of these elephants look really large, and you think, oh, they can't possibly be babies, but they do keep them there for quite a long period of time. It's actually about 5 to 7 years before they're matured enough to be brought to the park. So you can also see the personality of the babies compared to some of the personalities of some of the older ones. And as the older ones come, you'll see that they will drag this little bucket of food away. I don't know if it must be food because they're eating it, but the very first one put some in his trunk and then kind of blew it all over his back. So at first we thought it was sand to play in, and now we're realizing it's not sand to play in, it's food. But they kind of make a game out of it. Here's a little one going and just running right up there, wants the feeding to take place. And then after they get their feeding, they just kind of meander over to where the rest of the group is hanging out. Apologize for me shaking the camera around. I was probably walking and trying to get another vantage point. But I'm not going to talk through this whole video. I think I'm just going to be quiet, play a little bit of music, and let you enjoy watching Mother Nature at its finest. Thank goodness that this particular sanctuary is set up to care for these orphaned elephants. I mean, there's different circumstances why each and every one is there. I don't know. It wasn't really explained to us. You can definitely do some research about why. And they also, on the property, have a little museum of sorts where you can go in and read all about the different types of... And this guy, look at this one. Just fill it up. Come on. I'm ready. They are so they're so much fun to watch. I mean, it's just fascinating to me to watch these creatures. And we are back in Sri Lanka today. So we've already been to Mumbai. We've come back through India. We're done with India, and today's our first day in Sri Lanka. And we're actually overnight here in Colombo. So we actually have another elephant day planned for tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit different than this first day that we were in Sri Lanka. So we're hoping it happens because there's been some bad weather here in Sri Lanka because of some storms. The day here is clear now. We dock in about an hour, and tomorrow we will be going to do 2 elephant experiences. And we're keeping our fingers crossed that it doesn't get canceled. Some of the tours have been canceled because some of the roads were damaged and they're not passable. And obviously, and there's also been a lot of flooding, and the elephants won't be allowed into the area we're supposed to spend time with them if there's flooding. So again, keeping our fingers crossed that everything works out well and that we get a little bit more up close and personal with the elephants in Colombo tomorrow. And I will definitely post something if it happens. And we're kind of keeping our fingers crossed because we want it to happen. So this was our day in Hambantota at the Elephant Orphanage. And I just kept videotaping because there was this feeding lasts, I want to say it lasts for at least 30 minutes. There's so many of them. You don't really realize how many elephants there are because they're kind of kept down by the water and then they make their way up that path. So we thought it was going to be pretty quick and be over, and not so much. So I'm going to stop talking now if that's even possible and let you just enjoy this, and I'll just play a little bit of music to watch the elephants by. We will catch up with everybody tomorrow. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Enjoy. thanks so much for watching. We are looking forward to our next day with the elephants tomorrow.